Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
And it was wrong. It was a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call.
Bad call.
Some are good for fighting, others for dying.
It's just two movies.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? From First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones, the show with hot questions and even hotter movies. And then another movie, we watch another movie after that. It's usually not as good. We get pretty inebriated while we watch it, and then we come in here and we take a big shit on it. This is not Hot Ones.
It is Hot Ones. Oh,
this is Hot. Is this Hot
movies?
Ones edition?
I thought I was on Hot Ones.
No.
We're not.
No. It's just two movies. My name's Daniel King. With me, as always, is just a friend of mine, and I've got a returning culprit, fucking animal, Action Jackson. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, I'm good, man. I thought I was showing up to eat wings. I think I showed up to the wrong one. No, so I was supposed to watch a movie first?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Shit.
So what we do on the show, if you're not familiar, if you're a first time listener, what we do here is we watch two movies. We watch one movie that at least one of us thinks is a good flick, and then the other one, we try to find some kind of loose connection between the two movies, just as an excuse to watch some trash cinema. So we flip-flop the pick. This week was your pick for the movie on the show, and
Yep.
why don't you tell everybody what movie we watched?
Yeah. So we watched, so my pick this time around, I chose The Prestige.
The Prestige.
The Prestige, something like that.
Yeah,
you know,
with boobs.
They show a lot of boobs on it. Pretty sure I saw that one a few times.
Is there boobs in that?
There's zero boobs.
No, this is PG-13 because I watch it with my kid.
Zero boobs.
No boobs in The Prestige.
Yeah.
It's a good fucking movie, though.
So you're going to be disappointed if you're looking for boobs, though.
There's no boobs in it.
There's zero. But yeah, there's a lot of, there's 2 or 3 or 4 good actors.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good flick. So what we've got here is The Prestige is an October 2006 mystery drama release. It's got an 8.5 out of 10 on IMDb, 76 on Rotten Tomatoes, which seems low.
76.
66 on Metacritic. It is a period piece, though, and a lot of people hate period pieces. I mean, I guess that doesn't surprise me. I quite like one if it's done right.
Yeah, if it's done right, like, it shouldn't matter. Like, you want it to be very knowing of itself. So
yeah.
A period doesn't matter.
It's a cool story. So the screenplay was written by Jonathan and Christopher Nolan, and of course directed by Christopher Nolan. I'm not a huge Christopher Nolan fanboy, but I do really like several of his films.
Yeah, he makes some really good movies. I think when this movie first came out, I don't remember like a marketing at all of this movie. I just remember thinking, I've watched that movie, and like years later, Christopher Nolan like came up and I was like, oh, he made that movie. Yeah. That makes sense.
Well, that's how I feel about Memento, because I watched Memento before any of this shit came out, and I checked out the other stuff because I'm like, that's the guy that made Memento.
Right.
Yeah, I bet it's fucking weird. This had a budget of $40 million, and making that money back got $109.7 million. Stars,
damn.
I know. Stars Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, Michael Caine, Scarlett Johansson, both of her breasts, Rebecca Hall, David Bowie, and Andy Serkis.
David Bowie.
Yeah, David Bowie plays Tesla. Nikolai Tesla.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's Bowie.
Holy cow. That's cool.
He was a little chunkier in the face than normal, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
It's a shame we don't have Bowie anymore.
Yeah. He's a very eccentric person.
Time, she's a cruel...
time comes for everybody.
She's a cruel parking ticket person.
I think she's a he. It's father time, right?
Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever, man. So, what'd you think about this? We'll go ahead and rank it right up top.
So, this is a movie.
We'll save it. We'll do it at the end. So, if this is the first time that you've ever tuned into this show and you have never seen The Prestige, you have 2 options. If you know that you are the type of person that's never going to watch it just because you just won't, you think you might watch it in 10 years or probably never, Yeah, enjoy the show because we're going to do full spoilers.
Yep.
If you have desperately been dying to watch a movie that came out in 2006, you should go watch it. It's on Prime.
This is 2006?
2006,
Okay.
yeah. So you should either just go watch it or just listen to the show anyway. You can still watch it. Listen to that cast. It's totally star-studded. It's a good watch.
You should go watch it first if you're wanting to watch it, because we're going to spoil everything on it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna spoil the shit out of it, and it's got some cool little plot hooks in it.
Yes. So this is a movie you have to watch more than once. Like, you watch it the first time and it's good, and then you get to the end of the movie, you're like, holy shit, I need to watch it again.
I'm normally not a great advocate for having to watch a movie more than once to be able to understand it.
Right.
I don't like that. I don't like that because if you can't convey the story one time where it's at least understandable, or like if I looked away for a half a second and I missed the pin hair, the linchpin that makes the whole story work.
Right. But this movie makes
I like movies that get better the more you watch them, because that's a different thing.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you add this one is one of those odd ones, because it's a good watch first time through. It's a good watch.
Yeah.
But the second time you watch it, it is two times better.
It all makes way more sense.
Holy cow.
It makes sense as you're watching it, but it's an incredible film. I mean, the performances in it are great. The storyline's pretty great. I thought the costume work was fantastic.
Yeah.
So whoever's doing wardrobe on this, kudos.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they did great as actors needing doubles. It's kind of crazy in this movie. They use a lot of that. So
this movie starts and you get a sad Chris Chinbale behind bars. He's getting locked up. They're having a trial. He's like, "You murdered him, you sons of bitches." And he's like, he's not really saying much of anything. Right. And then it's just Michael Caine.
Yeah, Michael Caine. Michael Caine's in court trying to explain some things, and then like the judge. Well, he's trying to explain a magic trick, but he's like, I can't explain this part of the magic trick. I'll ruin it for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which Christian Bale is in jail for, kind of like in a situation.
Right. You know what's crazy about that? Right out of the gate is Michael Caine's the only one who knows. He knew the whole time.
He knows.
He knew. He was screaming it, pounding his fist, like, that's the only way you can do it.
Like, he's not only just telling Hugh Jackman, he's telling the audience, he's telling everybody.
Yeah.
Like, it's a double.
Yeah. It's got to be a double.
That's it. Like,
yeah. So full tilt spoilers. We're 30 seconds into the movie. We've already spoiled the biggest punchline of it. The thing about this movie is it's really a film about obsession, about rivalry,
magic for sure,
and a bit of magic. But I will tell you this: if you're just as a casual person who watches the thing, if you like breaking shit. Like, not physically. I mean, like seeing something displayed and go, that's bullshit, and here's why.
Right.
That, if you enjoy doing that, this is a super fun movie to watch. It is an absolute blast. And I'm not talking about the storyline, just because of all the magic tricks and all the shit that they do. It's funny. It's funny and it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch them do all this fucking crazy shit. And you can't help but think 90% of this is probably fairly accurate. This probably happened at some point.
At some point, there's competing magicians,
magicians.
All the time, like, because there's a secret to the magic world.
Oh yeah,
like you can't know this part of the magic trick, or you will be able to compete with me as a magician.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't know about this movie: did it take place in London or was it in America? I had no idea.
It was London.
Okay,
like England area.
That's what I thought at first, and then I watched it, and I was like. A few times, I was like, I'm not sure where this takes place.
I think Hugh Jackman is American, though.
Okay.
I think he's over there studying under this other guy. I don't know. That bit's a little fuzzy, but...
Yeah, so the movie starts off in the court scene, but the intro, the monologue that introduces you into this world of magic and these two characters, Michael Caine is explaining... the 3 acts of a magic trick.
Yep.
It talks about the pledge, which is your first act. So you got three acts on a magic trick. You got the pledge first, which is presenting the audience something ordinary.
Yeah.
It's normal. And then your second act is the turn, which is something that you brought to the audience attention as ordinary, and you make it extraordinary.
Right.
And then your third act, so if you're making so on the second act, if you make something disappear, that's awesome. Everyone's like, oh, that's pretty crazy.
It's okay. But it's not it's not impressive.
It's not impressive. So you need a third act.
Until you bring it back.
So your third act is the Prestige.
Mm-hmm.
So roll credits is bringing what you just disappeared back into everyone's vision and into, I guess, reality.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought there's a lot of good parts to this movie. Them explaining that whole aspect of the magician's world and their thought process and how you get there and the wonder behind it.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed, because there's no other movies that talk about magic like this one does, when it's like, we know you're being fooled, but you don't want to know you're being fooled.
Yeah.
You give the magician that disbelief.
Yeah, hey, a good magic trick, I know I'm being fooled and I still don't know how they do it. I still find it delightful.
And you don't look for the airs. Like, I don't really, it's like, if you look for there's a really good magic trick and you're like, holy shit, how did that happen? And then you start looking and you're like, that's kind of maybe how it happened. But then you're like, I got too close to the answer. I kind of want to just be disbelieved this whole time.
Yeah.
That's how I am sometimes. I don't know. Maybe it's different for everybody, but in the movie, they make it clear everyone wants to, we're living in this world of reality and this day-to-day stuff. When you go to watch a magician, they give you a sense of wonder that there's something beyond what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's absolutely delightful. I think magic's fun. Everybody shits on magicians. Everybody shits on magicians. I think they're okay. I mean, like, as long as your tricks are good, it doesn't matter if it's something I haven't seen before. If I can't figure it out, I still find it fascinating.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you ever want to be a magician? Like, at some point,
I think everybody. I think
everyone does.
I actually know a handful. I know a handful of magic tricks. I'm not going to do them.
Yeah.
Maybe later after the show, if you want to see one or two of them, I'll show you. But
easy.
Yeah. Whoa. I'll I come out with a cape on. I've got a top hat and a monocle, and I'm just like, oh,
damn it, Danny,
the amazing Dano. Welcome to the show, Jackson. So you cut from the prison scene, and it goes to, it's like a flashback or whatever, and it does this often throughout the movie.
Yeah.
To Christian Bale being in jail. And to them working side by side with Michael Caine. Michael Caine kind of oversees their operation. It's his magic show, but he's not the magician. He's a designer.
Right.
He designs the shows and the act and the whole thing.
So let's, I guess, as an explanation for... So Michael Caine is, like you said, he helps the magicians. The magicians are the performers.
Yeah, he designs tricks.
Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman are the two magicians that have this long-standing rivalry throughout the movie, but when you're first introduced to them, they don't have a rivalry.
They just don't really like each other that much. They have a professional respect for one another.
But there's definitely a rivalry.
Yeah, a bit. Christian Bale thinks that Hugh Jackman is too small-minded. He doesn't understand what it means to have dedication to the craft.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Hugh Jackman also wants to know Christian Bale's secret. The whole time.
Because he's a better magician. So the real secret and the moral of the story is commitment.
That's a big part of this movie, is commitment and self-sacrifice. How willing are you to sacrifice? What are you willing to sacrifice to be the best at what you do?
Nobody was willing to sacrifice it more than Christian Bale's.
Yeah. He, method actor. This was right up his alley.
So they're all working with Michael Caine. He's like the designer or whatever. So they have a trick where it's like, ooh, a pretty lady. She gets her hands and legs bound, and then she would drop her in a water tank and close a curtain, and then she escapes.
A big part of the movie is this first act. Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale are both tying this girl up to be put in a water tank and lock the water tank.
Mm-hmm.
And
like, I need a volunteer from the crowd. You, sir.
Yeah, so they're plants in the crowd, and they come up and they tie these knots. They've done it, it seems like 100 times probably on this, before this. And Christian Bale ties a knot,
Slip knot.
a slip knot, but there's another one that's like there's a wet knot and then there's a dry knot.
Yeah, the dry knot's the slip knot.
And he keeps doing the dry knot.
Well, the slip knot is a wet or dry knot. The Langford double is the one that he's like, it's the right knot. He's like, it's a better knot. It'll work. It'll hold her better, and she can still slip it.
Yep.
So one day they're doing the show again because they're arguing about it after the show. So next night they do the show again, and he maybe accidentally, like he maybe ties the Langford double, maybe he doesn't, maybe he ties the regular slip knot.
Well, he ties a knot, then she looks at him, and he unties what he did and reties a different knot.
Yeah, well, he dropped the knot, which is what they were saying like the previous night. They're like, I saw you drop the knot again. You fucking, this shit's serious. And he's like, yeah, but it's the wrong knot. So he's doing it again, and he drops the knot again, and she looks at him and gives him like a knowing glance.
I feel like that was a really good scene because she looks at him like, you tied the wrong one this time.
Yeah.
But I'm still going with a smile. The audience doesn't know. Like, maybe he's done this more than once, in the past where she's like, I'm kind of hesitant about doing this knot.
And she doesn't come out when they drop her in the tank.
Michael Caine has to run over there and starts beating on the glass with an axe.
Yep.
To break her out, which...
My
only problem with this
Why
scene,
didn't they give it to a younger, like more fit, stronger man?
Well, not just that, but why are they using bulletproof glass?
Right.
In one swing, dude. Come on.
That glass is 8 inches thick.
Maybe it's a magician thing that there's a reason for it, but I'm not.
So it doesn't get broken transit because they take it all over the fucking place?
Or early 1900s. That was the only glass available. I don't know.
Yeah, who fucking knows? So anyway... She dies, and that lady that dies, that's Hugh Jackman's old lady.
Yep.
So he's real sad, and he's like, "Which fucking knot did you tie? Which tot did you nye? Which tot did you nye, Chris Chinbale?" And he's like, "I don't know what knot I tied."
Yeah, they're at her funeral.
Yeah, a couple days later, she had a cool casket. Did you scope it? It was like black and like it looked like an egg. It's like kind of
really
egg-shaped.
cool.
It'd be like being buried in a giant pill.
Like she's in one of those where you're not buried in the ground, you're buried in like a wall. I don't know what those are called. But like,
wow, I'm brain farting on that. What are those fucking things called? Mausoleum? No,
something like that. Something close to that. I don't know if that's right.
Yeah. So anyway, the stone building where they bury lots of people in a drawer.
Yeah. So Christian Bale shows up because he knew her, and he was part of it. Hugh Jackman and Michael Caine ask him, "What are you doing there?" And he's like, "I just, I just want to show my respects." And then they're like, "What knot did you tie?" This is a big theme of the movie. Is like, "What knot did you tie?"
And he's like, "I ask myself that every night,"
which is crazy.
He's like, "I don't know." He's like, "I could have swore I tied a regular slip knot, but I might have tied the Langford double."
But he doesn't know because his brother did it.
Yeah, so he genuinely doesn't know because he has a twin brother this entire time. Through the entire course of the movie, but they live as one person.
Yeah, he dedicates himself fully to the art of magic and fooling somebody.
So he does it 24 hours a day.
And Michael Caine has Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale go watch this Chinese guy lift a big a fish bowl of water, and Christian Bale spots out immediately.
He carries it between his legs.
Well, yeah, and that he's not this old crippled dude that can barely move. Like, that's his act.
Yeah,
like, he's like, I do that too. He's like, he notices that right
away.
Game
recognized game, baby.
Yeah, and Hugh Jackman doesn't know. He's like, no way. He's like, that's not possible.
No, that's not, because you tried it for 3 minutes.
Right.
That's Hugh Jackman's whole fucking thing is he doesn't understand the dedication. I'm not saying that he doesn't have it, because he does go to extraordinary lengths to accomplish the trick. He just doesn't understand that all it takes is just work.
Full commitment. Full
commitment.
Full send on it.
Like, I'm carrying this fishbowl between my legs around the house for the next 3 days.
Yeah. Whatever it takes.
Right.
To do this trick, to fool somebody, to fool millions or thousands of whoever you're trying to fool, you have to be fully committed to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman doesn't understand that, I think, until late, obviously to the last part of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like a shallow understanding of it. Like, kind of cops out to he doesn't necessarily dedicate his life to doing it. He's like,
He does. He even says he's like, I don't give a shit about my wife. He's like, I care about magic. I want to know his secrets. He's just the whole movie's about obsession. Is Christian Bale is obsessed with having the greatest magic trick ever that no one can duplicate and no one will ever duplicate, and it will always be a mystery as to how he did it.
Right.
He'll be remembered by it. That's what he is obsessed with.
But he's terrible at the flashy part of it. Like, he doesn't understand it. He's like,
Hugh Jackman is obsessed with his trick because Hugh Jackman just wants to be the world's greatest magician.
And he wants to be the Prestige. He wants that final glorification of his act, which comes into play later on in the movie. But yeah, he wants, the crowd to cheer him on.
Yeah.
Which is another theme that Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman, I don't think the main parties there ever get the Prestige by themselves. I don't know, it's somewhat alluded to that neither one of them get it, and they're always after it.
So yeah, I mean, she dies. Christian Bale shows up to the funeral, and they're like, "What fucking knot did you tie?" And he's like, "I fucking don't know." After this, essentially, Michael Caine and Hugh Jackman, they're like, "We're gonna go continue to do our show, but not with you." You're like, "Not with you, Christian Bale. You fucking, you're out of here. You maybe are a murderer."
Yeah, they think he killed her. They 100% think he killed Hugh Jackman's wife, and that's where the rivalry kind of starts.
Right.
So yeah, so they both start doing their own thing, own magic shows. At the very bottom, to like 10 people, and then Christian Bale has he gets a girl, and like he's telling her this the magic bullet trick.
We should call him Christian Bale A and Christian Bale B.
Yeah. Christian Bale A.
Christian Bale A loves the girl.
But you never know. The thing is, you never know which one's which.
No, you know.
You know
in almost every scene, because it's one of them loves her and the other one just doesn't care.
True. That's very true. But yeah, I guess that's one of those
things.
Even
she says it. He'll be like, I love you. She'll be like, you don't mean it.
Sure?
You don't mean it today.
Today you don't really mean that.
Some days she'll be like, today you do mean it.
So Christian Bale has a new girlfriend after Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman kind of go their separate ways. He's showing his girlfriend this new magic trick, or the magic trick of catching a bullet. So he explains that the magic trick is how it's done. There's no bullet when someone actually does it right.
Yeah.
And he pulls somebody from the audience to do the magic bullet trick.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess maybe I should explain the magic trick. They have a gun.
It's a black powder gun. So you put your black powder.
Yep.
And then you put a thing in called a wad. Which is just like a little piece of cloth. You put your bullet in, and then you take your ramrod and you pack it down in the barrel.
Yep.
Well, he's got a specially built ramrod that actually removes the bullet.
It's like a magnet or something.
Yeah. Part of the trick actually entails him turning his back to the audience and handing the weapon to a complete stranger.
Yep.
So it only takes one smartass to slip a button or a piece of glass, or like anything. Anything is a lethal projectile coming out of that.
Yep. So he's doing his act, and he's doing an act in front of like 15 people, and they're all giving him shit because he's doing like some normal ring shit where it's like, they're all like, we don't want to watch you put rings together.
He's kind of doing like some Andy Kaufman shit. Like they show up for a magic show and he's doing the super cheesy shit they've seen a million times. Then he's like, "Oh, you came for the fucking? Is this what you came for?" He like points the gun at everybody in the audience. They're all like, "Whoa,
this is legit right here." Pointing the gun at us. So he does the trick in front of this audience, and the audience, one of the members was Hugh Jackman dressed up in this full face costume.
Oh, they got makeup and wigs and fake beards and all
at
kind
first
of shit.
you can't tell. At first you're like, if you hadn't seen the movie, you're just like, is that him? So he's mad at Christian Bale for killing his wife or his girlfriend, and
as one would,
right? So he does exactly what he said is the most dangerous part. He puts a round in or a bullet in to the gun, points it right at him, asks he asks him, he goes,
Which knot did you tie?
Which knot did you tie? And he's like, I don't know, because this guy, this Christian Bale, doesn't know.
Christian Bale A. Christian Bale A does not know.
So Christian Bale B is right. It's kind of close to Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, what's his name?
His name's Fallon.
Fallon, right.
And he's got this eyeglasses. I could never tell that it was him, man.
He's got crazy... No, he's got like fucking fake cheekbones on and everything, man.
It's like,
I mean, it's a total... It's not a rubber mask, but there's a lot of rubber pieces to it.
They never really show his face that close. So you're not really eyeing it that
once
well.
or twice.
Once or twice.
You get two real good close-ups, and I'm like, is that Christian Bale?
Yeah, and you're like, And
it is.
You don't know until the very end when you're like, holy shit, that was Christian Bale the whole time. But back to the scene. Hugh Jackman has him at gunpoint at this point, and Christian Bale knows it. And he's like, I don't know. It's like, and he goes to shoot him. Christian Bale B hits his arm with like a cane. The bullet hits his hand and shoots off his little finger and his second little finger.
Yeah, so
whatever that is.
Yeah, so he can't bowl, but
right. Yeah, he's got 3 fingers left on his right hand.
One of his bowling fingers. So, and then later down the road, so they can continue their Christian Bale A, Christian Bale B, their cross off or the trade off, crossover, whatever you want to call it, them switching places. Christian Bale B gets his fingers cut off with a fucking hammer and chisel.
Hammer and chisel. So this is the sacrifice. This is
the 100% commitment.
It's commitment. It is commitment to the full. You don't, and this is revealed at the very end of the movie, but like they show where Christian Bale A is holding down Christian Bale B and chiseling off his fucking finger with the one swipe of a...
He lays his hand over the other Christian Bale's hand.
Yeah,
he's
just
like marks it off with the chisel.
It's a gnarly...
It's fucking brutal.
It's gnarly, but it's like, you know, if you've committed your life up to this point to doing that, it's a pretty easy choice, I guess.
Yeah.
Cut my fingers off. Because everything else he's doing, like emotionally, mentally, like his girlfriend that he has at the moment, every other day, she is like, you don't love me today. And then he's like, yeah, you fucking know, kind of. To an extent, she doesn't ever know. He's like, this is me, I'm secret, sorry.
Yeah, that's how it is. And anyway, while all this is going on, Hugh Jackman, he's fucking still getting his groove back, and he gets this cool, like, dove slinger arm brace steampunk fucking magic trick thing.
Yeah.
Where it just whips a dove out of a cave out of a cage, collapsing cage at lightning speed. He's doing it live, and fucking they get a guy from the audience, and it's Christian Bale.
Yeah, so he's doing his own thing, and he gets this. One of the common themes is they kill a living bird, basically, to fulfill...
You need 2 birds to do the disappearing bird trick.
Yeah, the disappearing bird. You kill the first bird and bring another bird identical back.
Right.
So Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman in this scene has Michael Caine give him a trick where Michael Caine actually tests him. He's like, are you willing to sacrifice a bird to bring it back? And he's like... Kind of,
yeah, because he doesn't understand the commitment, and that's the whole movie. He's just a man that lacks the ability to identify what he needs to find the solution to the thing that he wants, because that's all it is just work, work, baby.
Just put it in.
Yeah, that's it. Everything else is just
So in that scene, he doesn't end up having to kill this bird. He has a trick where he can pull the bird in from left hand to his right hand because of this contraption on his back.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's a crazy contraption. So, coming kind of full circle again, Christian Bale's in the audience this time. And...
tit for tat.
Yeah, tit for tat. So...
Hugh Jackman's trick involves him. He's got his hands on... like, the sides of the cage. And then he needs 2 audience members, one to put their hands on the other side of the cage, and then another person to put their hand on top and bottom.
Yep.
And Christian Bale comes up and puts his hand on the top of the cage, And Hugh Jackman immediately sees that he's only got 3 fingers, and he's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, he looks straight at him like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah. So what does Christian Bale do? He breaks the box.
He murders the bird.
He murders the bird, and he fucks that lady's hand up.
Yeah, in front of everybody.
In front of everybody.
Ruins Hugh Jackman's career moving forward. He's like,
yeah, effectively, it gets way harder for him to get a show.
Yeah, this is a. It's not life ruining, but profession. Yeah, he's done for after this. He's like, oh shit.
Oh, you gotta like leave the country after that kind of shit, man.
Which he does.
Yeah, he essentially does. So while this is happening and Hugh Jackman's like wallowing in his self-pity, Christian Bale starts to do his magic trick. The transported man.
Yeah.
2 doors on either side of a stage on a box.
Yep.
And he goes from one to the other.
Yeah, and this is a big magic trick for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, anyway. So they both do the transported man, and they each do it differently. Christian Bale first does his transported man. He has this little ball, rubber ball.
Ball he loves.
Like a dog toy.
Yeah, it's like a slightly smaller than a racquetball.
Yeah. So he bounces it from one side of the stage, and as soon as he bounces it, he goes into this closet door, and then he walks out on the other side of the stage of the same type of closet and catches his own ball.
But because it's opposite Christian Bale. If Christian Bale A went in the door, B comes out and catches the ball and takes the bow, and then the show is over.
Yeah. And Hugh Jackman sees that, and he's like, how in the hell did he do that?
How am I going to do that? So Hugh Jackman tries to do the same trick. They get him a double. And man,
this guy's a drunk.
Hollywood makeup. Hollywood makeup is fucking fantastic because those guys are both played by Hugh Jackman. That guy looks enough like Hugh Jackman. I would be like, he could pass for Hugh Jackman, but he's clearly not. How different those 2 guys look just because of like a dental implant or whatever when he's
his mouth looks different.
Just the way he holds his mouth is enough.
Yeah, and Hugh Jackman needs a double.
Yeah,
so they get this double for him.
He's a drunk.
He's a drunk actor that's played Shakespeare. He's played Faust, but he's broken and out of work. So he's kind of he's been beaten out of his own Hollywood in London there.
Yeah, he'll be an actor. He'll act like he's the great Danton, which is Hugh Jackman's moniker, stage name, whatever.
Right. Yeah, so he does his own transported man, and he has to get his own double. But he doesn't understand Christian Bale has a double. He doesn't understand that at all. No,
he's still obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, they get a new stagehand. They get Scarlett Johansson in like a push-up bra corset. She looks great. Yeah, so they get her. She falls in love with Hugh Jackman because, he's gorgeous.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? And he is still just obsessed with Christian Bale's trick.
Completely obsessed with what Christian Bale is doing.
Yeah, because Christian Bale doesn't have the flair for it.
Doesn't have the flair, but he has the down and dirty, I understand magic.
Yeah. So he's, I guess Christian Bale's just more analytical about the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he knows that it's clever. Christian Bale's doing magic for magicians, not for people.
Exactly.
Like
well, he's trying to fool everybody.
Let me give you an example. What's a metal band that you know? Do you know a metal band? Like Slipknot. Do you know Slipknot?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know Slipknot? If I put on one Slipknot song, you would go,
know.
Shit, that's fucking Slipknot.
Yeah, I would know him.
Okay. So Slipknot makes heavy metal for people.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Yeah.
Between the Buried and Me, do you know any Between the Buried and Me?
Do not.
It's because they make metal for musicians. And that's the same thing. Christian Bale makes magic for magicians. Because Hugh Jackman, he goes back and he talks to Scarlett Johansson. She's like, well, what happened? What was it? And he's like, he's still awestruck. And he's like, it's the greatest magic trick I've ever seen.
Never wraps his mind around it.
Yeah. And when they do it in the show, there's like, 8 people there and they're like,
yeah, they're barely clapping. Like, what?
Yeah, it's because he wasn't showy. He wasn't flashy.
He doesn't have
about
the performance.
Mm-hmm. So Hugh Jackman's, he's got his double.
He's got his double now.
He's doing his show with the double that they got dressed up and, he's putting on his act or whatever.
Yeah, and so Hugh Jackman's show is 2 doors that are not horizontal facing the audience. They're vertical. I guess that's how I could explain it. So when you open the door, you see the door.
One of them's a trap door.
And one of them's a trap door. And it's a very good looking setup. Instead of going into a closet where you're like, he could disappear in that closet. Like, no one cares. But the door, there's nothing behind it.
Yeah.
So it's just an open doorway.
It's a little flashier.
It's a little flashier.
But it's a trap door and a fucking raised platform under the stage.
Yeah. So the first door on, let's say, the right-hand side of the stage, Hugh Jackman, the Hugh Jackman A, he throws his hat and then pretends to walk through the door. And then on the left-hand side of the stage...
Just call the other one Hugh Drunkman.
Hugh Drunkman. I like it.
Hugh Drunkman.
He jumps out of this door and grabs Hugh Jackman's hat.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman at the same time falls from the stage to the ground.
Under the stage on like a big pillow
thing
or whatever, yeah.
And that he hates, Hugh Jackman hears the crowd roar.
For this drunk asshole.
For this drunk Hugh Drunkman. And he's like, I am the performer. I'm the magician. Why am I not getting the accolades here?
So he's taking his bows under the stage. But Christian Bale, he goes and watches the show because that's what musicians do. They go see the...
So Hugh Jackman A never gets the prestige, ever.
Right.
I don't think he ever in this movie gets the prestige.
Nope. Well, they only perform this show so many times because the double, who's a drunk, goes to the bar. Christian Bale has seen the show. He knows it's a different guy.
Right. He's like, that's a double.
He
dumbass.
knows that he knows that he's drunk, and he knows he's like 35 pounds heavier or whatever, whatever the deal is. Christian Bale goes to the bar, talks to the drunk, and he's like, yeah, I used to have a double in my act until the guy realized he could just ask for whatever he wanted, and my whole show was at his mercy just because he looked like me.
Yeah, he's like, you can control him.
Yeah, he plants the seed, in his mind. So Hugh Drunkman shows back up and he's like, "Fuck you! You're gonna give me whatever I want," and it's extortion.
Yeah. So he starts playing this blackmail on him, and Michael Caine's like, "I thought this would happen a little later than now."
Yeah, he's like, usually
it takes a little while.
Usually they're not that fast to pick it up,
but. The only reason he picked it up kind of quickly is because Christian Bale met Hugh Drunkman at the bar and said, hey, you have a little control over this guy.
Right.
And then, so moving forward, one of the next acts that Hugh Jackman's playing, he throws his hat, goes through the door, the floor stage drops where he's supposed to drop, and...
It's been moved.
The pillow, the mat that he's supposed to fall on has been... removed, and he breaks a bone probably.
Yeah, he fucks his leg up because he wears a leg brace and then he walks with a cane the rest of the movie.
And then on the other side of the door, who comes out? Christian Bale.
Yep.
And he's like, so what? This is a great part of the movie. He hangs up the drunk Hugh Drunkman. He puts a sign on him and on the stage.
When he steals the show?
Yeah, and he steals the show. So he jumps out the other side of the door, catches the hat, or he doesn't even catch the hat. He comes up late.
Mm-hmm.
And he picks up the hat and he's like, oh, I'm in the wrong magic show.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put the spotlight on center stage, kind of above the stage, and they have Hugh Drunkman hanging, and he's wrapped around with a note on top of him that says, go watch, Christian Bale's show.
Go across the street and watch my show. And it would be fucking hilarious if across the street at Christian Bale's show, the other Christian Bale, Christian Bale B, was just doing the show.
Right, yeah.
Just doing it at the same time.
What happened there?
What? It's magic. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a really good scene in the movie that I liked.
So the battle gets heated is pretty much what's going on here. Is it's going from it started out pretty heated with maybe murder.
Yeah, it was pretty much murder. I don't know though.
Murder.
No one knows. Did he do it on purpose?
He tied the knot on purpose.
Was that his ego that did it, or was that his?
It was maybe just that one, Christian Bale B's ego.
Yeah,
is what was this is a better knot.
This is a better knot.
You don't fucking know what I know.
Yeah,
it was a fucking better knot.
That's probably what it was.
Son of
It wasn't vengeance against him. I don't think that was it. So yeah, it gets heated. So at this point, Hugh Jackman, he's screwed again. His show has been blown up again by Christian Bale.
Yep.
And now he has to start from scratch, and he gets a new hand, which is Scarlett Johansson.
Mm-hmm. Wait, she's after the... Yeah, she is after the body double.
No, she's during the body... Sorry. She's
she's
during the body...
She finds the body
right.
double. Yeah.
And then... So the next part of this is Hugh Jackman asks, can you go watch Christian Bale's show?
To Scarlett Johansson.
Yes.
No, she wants him to go. He wants her to go work for him.
Yes. Go.
So he's
be my spy.
I'm Hugh Jackman. I'm so beautiful. Scarlett Johansson, who you're also pretty darn good looking. Yeah. Would you go hustle Christian Bale with your boobs and your good looks and all that stuff? Would you go steal his secrets?
I mean, if I'm Scarlett, I'm hustling everybody. But yes.
Right. Use what your mama gave you, I guess. Yeah. Is that the expression that we hear all the time around here?
Yeah, so she goes from Hugh Jackman over to Christian Bale. Christian Bale, let's say A. I'm not sure because
no, it's B. Because B likes her.
You're right, because Christian Bale B is not married. Christian Bale B doesn't have a kid. But he falls in love with Scarlett Johansson.
Right.
It turns kind of crazy because... Well, I guess get into that. So Scarlett Johansson goes over. He steals Christian Bale's diary, and gives that back to Hugh Jackman. And I think that's really their last connection was that diary.
Yeah, that pretty much is it until the very, very end. Look. There's a lot of different hooks and stuff in this movie, so we're gonna skip some stuff.
Yeah, we have to skip it.
Yeah. If I don't, then I will just edit this bit in because the show is edited for time.
Right.
I know it doesn't sound like it because it's 2 hours long, but believe me, I do actually edit this for time. So Hugh Jackman essentially is able to blackmail Christian Bale into giving him the secret word for his codex, which is like it's not his codex, it's encoded. His journal is encoded.
His journal has a
secret code word.
Yeah, an enigma, and a word which
there's a keyword to decode it
to decipher
exactly
to his journal, and
so
he reveals his keyword, which is Tesla.
Right. This happens because Hugh Jackman and Michael Caine get, what's the guy's name with the glasses? You said it earlier. Fallon. Yeah, so they get Fallon, they put him in a casket, fucking put nails on it, and they fucking bury him alive. But they leave him a little breathing hole
crazy.
Or whatever. It is pretty crazy.
He creates his own breathing hole because he shoots out of it. He's
he's got a single shot little Derringer in there, I guess.
I mean, they hijack his brother unknowingly.
They don't know it's his brother, though. They just think it's his assistant or his friend or whatever.
Yeah.
So they hijack Fallon, they bury him alive, and he's like, "Give me the secret code word to your trick."
Well,
so
no,
he
wants to know
trick.
The prestige of his trick, and he's like, "I don't want the code word."
He goes, "The secret is the trick," and he writes it down on a piece of paper, and the word is Tesla.
Which
now, when he does this is how you know how perceptive Christian Bale is, because when he does this, he knows that Hugh Jackman will go to America first and go hunt down Tesla and spend all that fucking time decoding his journal instead of just decoding it first.
Right.
Because if he would have decoded it first, he would have never went to America and he would have never went to see Nikola Tesla.
Yeah.
Or if he would have just decoded the last page.
I've watched this movie a few times. I don't really watch a bunch of people that decipher movies. But part of this for me was like that confused me or kind of raised the question was, did Christian Bale go see Tesla first?
No, Christian Bale never went to Nikola Tesla.
I know, but it kind of makes sense that why does he have Tesla's name? But you know what I mean? Like, why is he?
Oh, he knows who he is. He's world renowned. You know what I mean?
But he also
he's renowned as a quack and a weirdo and he's a wizard. He's a witch doctor.
But he also has it as a lock to his journal entry. Like you have to know Tesla's name to decipher his. So it's like a plant of a journal.
The whole journal's it's a plant. It's
or
fake.
He maybe went to Tesla at some point. This is my theory.
Christian Bale made that journal to give to Hugh Jackman, to give him the word, because he knew it would just make him go fuck off for a couple of years.
Yeah. I think you're right 100% on that.
I'm
just going to throw a theory out.
If he would have decoded the last page of the journal first, it's like, ha ha ha, fuck you.
Oh. Well, shit.
That's the last entry in the journal.
Yeah, you're right.
Haha, go fuck yourself. None of this is all bullshit. Take yourself for a wank. I never saw Tesla. I never went to America. You fucking suck, you dumbass.
All right, you're right. I'm okay. But
he punked him hard.
My thought, like, kind of during that was like, did Bale go see Tesla first, and instead of killing his copy, did he live with his copy instead of being a twin?
No,
just a side. I'm just a side theory. I'm just not going to throw that out. You know.
Yeah, no. He says he has a twin brother.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm just. Yeah. I was thinking the whole time.
No, and I thought that too. I thought that too while I was watching, because it's been a really long time since I've seen this. So, overcome with the, like, oh my god, I fucking figured it out. I fucking know how he did it. Where is Nikola Tesla? He's in Colorado in the United States. In Colorado Springs, which I've been. Springs. It's lovely. If you ever have the chance to go to Colorado Springs, Colorado, couldn't recommend it enough. It is probably my top 2 vacations I've ever taken.
Nice. I haven't been to Colorado.
Yeah,
I might have. I don't remember.
It is breathtaking. So Hugh Jackman goes to America, and he's going to Colorado. He's checking into a hotel, and he's like, I'm looking for Tesla. And he goes up the hill, and he's like, hey, anybody, I'm here looking for Tesla.
Right.
And it's...
he meets, like, Tesla's assistant or something. He's like, get the fuck out of here.
It's Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis plays Golem and all of your favorite characters.
I didn't even notice that.
He plays Caesar in the Planet of the Apes movies, the new ones.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
Oh, yeah, he's fucking great, man. So anyway, Andy Serkis, he's like, yeah, you're the great Danton. I've seen you before.
The great Danton.
You know what everybody had in their pockets.
You're the, you could come in, but you're, there's nothing to see here.
Yeah, so. He's like, oh, Tesla's not going to see you. It's impossible. I'm sorry. So he's like, well, you tell him I'll be staying at the hotel indefinitely until he decides to take a meeting with me.
He's like, indefinitely. Mm-hmm. He's like, he's like, I'm financing your operation basically from here on out. I don't know where you get all his money, but
he's just rich for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He seems rich.
Maybe they say something about it at some point, like that his family was rich or he comes from a wealthy family or whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He stays there and wants to talk to Tesla, so he eventually gets a meeting with Tesla. It's worth pointing out about this time that just the acting in this is phenomenal from all angles.
Yeah.
Like, it really is good.
Yeah, from Hugh Jackman to Christian Bale to
Scarlett Johansson,
and Michael Caine.
Even Rebecca Hall is bringing her A game.
Yeah, all of them. It's you're fully enveloped into this movie, and you're looking for magic in a magic movie.
Yeah, that's what I want. Take me to the magic, man. So, anyway, you cut back to Christian Bale. And his wife is like, you don't love me. And she's like starting to get drunk and she's depressed all the time. And now she's starting to act out. Christian Bale B falls in love with Scarlett Johansson. And Scarlett Johansson was secretly like, yo, fuck you, Jackman. Because I told him I loved him. And he's like, I don't give a shit about you. I give a shit about Christian Bale's secret.
Yeah. He is obsessed. He has an obsession with finding out the secret. What he's really looking for is, how do you do magic for real? And he thinks Christian Bale has this secret. He's a body double. That's it. That's all he has.
It's not a secret. It's the sacrifice. It's the practical thing that you think it is. It's that.
Your sense of wonder leads him to believe that there's something more to it.
Yeah.
He's like, what is it? I have to know. And he gives up everything for it.
Christian Bale's wife, she fucking hangs herself.
Yeah.
They get into several arguments. And she's like, I don't know, some days you really love me and some days you fucking don't. And we fight and you scream at me and I fucking hate it. I hate that you care more about this secret than you care about me.
Yeah.
And then she hangs herself.
It's a crazy thought, but it's understandable because half the time, literally half the time, it's not Christian Bale A, it's Christian Bale B who doesn't love her. And he's like, I have to be here to play this act. Mm-hmm. Which I really love Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna pretend to care about Christian Bale A's wife just for the performance of, magic.
Helping out my brother.
And like he doesn't do a really good job of it, and he kind of he fails at his brother's task of, handling that situation.
Yeah.
Which I think at some point they kind of swap wives.
I don't care how identical you are, man. They're different people.
Yeah.
And
and
you can't live half of a life.
And her soul recognized immediately, like, that's not the same soul on the other side of this face that I'm used to. Like, whatever this is doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And she recognized it anytime Christian Bale beats up. And she's like, I don't know who the fuck you are. You're confusing the shit out of me.
Right.
To the point where she's like, I don't think he loves me. I'm just going to fucking be done with it. She thinks he loves Scarlett Johansson, which half of him does. And he talks like that a lot, where he's, part of me does this. Part of me loves this. Part of me does this.
And by part of me, he means the other me.
Yeah, the other me.
Which is weird because they're two different people. They're two different individuals.
Identical looking, but two very different people. One you can tell has an ego that needs to be right with the knot tying situation.
Oh yeah.
And the other just wants to, be good at the magic part of it. He's willing to sacrifice everything to the point that he's in jail this entire movie. Like, you don't really realize it, but he's in jail this entire movie when they're telling the story. His wife, Christian Bale's wife, hangs himself or herself. I guess we cut back to Hugh Jackman.
Well, first it goes to him and Scarlett Johansson sitting in a diner.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, sorry about your wife or whatever, and he kind of lets on. He's like, I never loved her. I don't fucking care. And Scarlett Johansson just fucking pretty much gets up and leaves. She says a couple of things to him. She gets up. She takes off. She's out of the picture.
Yeah, she gets upset because she heard the same thing from Hugh Jackman. Because Hugh Jackman says, I don't care about my wife. I care about his secret. And he's talking about Christian Bale's secret.
They're both men obsessed.
They're obsessed with magic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're obsessed in their own weird way about it.
So now Hugh Jackman has finally won the favor of Nikola Tesla, and he built him this machine. So the machine doesn't actually transport the man, but it clones the man.
Yeah. At first, they don't neither Nikola or Hugh Jackman understand how the machine works. They're like, we don't really know. It's a lot of electricity.
Like, science isn't exactly
it's not exact science. At some point, he's just putting bulbs in the ground and they turn on because there's electricity just flowing through the ground.
The cinematography in this, like good. The way that it's shot when he's standing in that field of light bulbs, and then the scene with all the rabbits or the cats in the hats.
Yeah.
It's shot so beautifully.
And he picks up one of the light bulbs and it's still lit. And he's like, this is magic. What the fuck? Like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Like, how is this?
Like, there's no wires.
There's no cords. What is this? I'm 1900s person.
So they think Nikola Tesla is a wizard.
Yeah. He's like, science is magic. That's, magic. Science is shit that you don't understand, or magic is science that you don't understand.
Truly advanced technology will be indistinguishable from magic. If you saw it right now, you wouldn't know the difference between it and magic.
I mean, I don't know how my phone works, so...
Seems like magic.
I mean, if I were to be transported back to the 1700s and I showed them my phone and they're like, hey, how does this work? I'm like, I actually don't know. It's magic. I honestly have zero idea.
Oh, hey, quick plug. As of today, I got Starlink out here at the house, so I'm going to start uploading all of our stuff to YouTube also. Probably not going to do like a video format, but if you just prefer YouTube, you can get us on there as well.
Yeah, so full circle, Danny has Tesla inventions in his backyard.
Oh yeah, Starlink. I guess that's connecting. What a great. How did we? I planned this is how it happened. I planned it. Nikola Tesla's in that movie. I have a Tesla product that I just purchased that will arrive the very same day.
Yeah, Starlink's going to arrive. I'm going to know exactly, full circle.
So to make a long story short, Tesla makes Hugh Jackman, a.k.a. the Great Danton, makes him a cloning machine. So Hugh Jackman figures out how to make this cloning machine work to his advantage.
Yeah, so the first scene, the 2/3 of the movie is part of doing the transported man the best you could possibly do it.
That's the trick.
That's the trick.
That's the one that they're like, it's fucking impossible.
So Hugh Jackman does his own little version of, or no, Bale does his own version at first, and then Hugh Jackman copies it, and then he has to renew it. They're always trying to one-up each other, and then Hugh Jackman literally creates magic and has this Tesla machine. Right?
Tesla creates magic.
Tesla creates it and gives him this machine.
Now, I will say, although that I was beating up Hugh Jackman on his follow-through and his commitment and the fact that he doesn't understand that you have to put in the work, then, once he designs his trick, he commits suicide every night for 100 nights.
It is insane.
When he insane,
first
because his magic trick is, he goes in, OG, Hugh Jackman, is the magician on stage, and he goes into the Tesla machine and he makes a clone of himself, and then that version, OG Jackman, is dropped through the floor into a water tank that automatically closes with a real lock on it that he cannot get open.
And he drowns
every fucking night. And then the clone is the one that lives on and finishes the show.
I leave this up to my position of like disbelief. I don't know which Hugh Jackman lives, Hugh Jackman A or Hugh Jackman B. I'm never certain of who the copy is, because when they play
the way the trick is set up.
I know. I kind of feel like it's probably Hugh Jackman A dies every time. That's the way he's
all Hugh Jackman A.
But
they're all Hugh Jackman A.
When he first does the scene, he puts a gun right next to all this. So he's set up in this machine, electricity like a Tesla coil is all like throwing electricity at it, and then bang, a big flash of light, and he disappears, which a trapdoor disappears underneath, and then he shows up fucking 100 yards away. Where everyone's like, how did that happen? But the first time he does the trick, he puts a gun right next to his machine because he knows there's going to be a copy. He just doesn't know if it's going to be original Hugh Jackman or is it going to be a copy Hugh Jackman? Like, who's standing where? Who's standing in the platform? And who's standing in the replication of it? Right.
Did it actually replicate him right where he stood and send the original 10 feet away?
Or did he stay and a new copy got moved to the other spot?
But in this sci-fi realm of the cloning machine, it's a perfect copy, meaning it contains all the memories up to the present moment.
Yep. Exact copy of Hugh Jackman. So you never quite really know. I think you do. I think like you alluded to it.
The way the trick is done, you can assume it's the way that I just described, but you really don't know.
You don't. So and in that first scene,
it's a fun way they play in that sci-fi element.
Yeah, and that first time he does his magic trick, he has to shoot himself. He's like, I can't do that every time.
Right.
So his solution to not shooting himself is drowning copy one, Hugh Jackman A, dropping him from the Tesla coils that are shining this bright light. And at the climax of that bright light, a door opens. He drops into this water tank and the door shuts and it locks permanently. You cannot get around it.
Yeah.
And then he shows up in the second story of the theater.
Yeah.
Like, I am the Prestige.
Boom.
Like, what's up, people?
And that's what blows Christian Bale's mind. He's like, he was, 150 meters away in seconds.
Yeah, Christian Bale cannot figure it out.
No,
he's like,
because it's actual magic.
So the theater person that Hugh Jackman pitches this to,
yeah,
he shows him the trick, and he's like, well, that's it. And then he shows up behind him, like, on the second story. And
then he says, this is the first time in a long time I've seen real magic.
He's like, real magic.
So I wonder what happened there. I wonder what else
what the fuck?
Because they said Tesla had built one other machine just like it.
Which
that was like the lore of it. You know what I mean?
Kind of, part of me wants to believe that Tesla built Christian Bale a machine. He didn't kill his own copy. He just made him his brother.
That would make
part of me wants me to believe that.
That would make for a fun story. But that's the thing about magic is it's normally a boring explanation.
It's a wonder, though. Like,
yeah. If I showed you how I did the trick, and that's what Christian Bale says when he's talking to that kid, he's like, I'll show you a trick. He's like, don't ever tell anybody. Because
yeah,
once they know the trick, you don't mean anything to them.
Exactly.
It's the fact that they don't know. That's the beautiful thing about it is the mystery.
Yeah,
Once you give up the mystery, it's nothing.
Keep your cards hidden. Like once you've given up your information to somebody, you're no longer a wonder to anybody. No one gives a shit about that.
Right.
So Hugh Jackman starts doing his trick. He limits it to 100 times that he's going to do it.
Yeah.
So the audience knows he's only going to do this 100 times. Why? So no one understands why. And then at the same time, we flash kind of forward, or in the same situation where Christian Bale is in jail.
He's in jail for the murder. No, you know why? Because you see
don't
it
know
right
until
up they show you right up at the top of the movie. Hugh Jackman falls in the water tank. It locks. He can't get out. And he drowns there.
Is that the first scene or one of the first scenes?
Yeah, it's one of them. And Christian Bale's standing there like, oh my God, what
have I done?
What the fuck? And then...
But he never understands what he did.
Mm-hmm. And then fucking, what's his name?
Michael Caine.
And then Michael Caine comes in and he's like, oh no, love, what are you doing here? He doesn't say that, but...
He kind of does.
He catches him in the act.
He kind of does.
Which is fucked, though, because Michael Caine has got to know what's going on.
You would think. And unless they both find out at the same time.
Which is also possible, I suppose.
But it seems like Michael Caine's there to set him up. I was like, Michael Caine's in on this, right? Mm-hmm. And then, so what happens the first time Hugh Jackman does this trick in front of the audience, or not the first time, like the fifth time, Christian Bale's like, I got to figure out how he's doing this. So he goes under the stage. He sees Hugh Jackman being dropped into this fucking tank. He tries to get him out. He's like, I don't want him to die. So he's...
Yeah, because it's not a fake lock. It's a real lock.
Yeah, he's like, he can't get him out. He flashback to Act 1 of the movie where Michael Caine's at the water tank with an axe. Christian Bale's now at the water tank with an axe trying to free Hugh Jackman. Mm-hmm. And he can't do it. And then the cops come and like...
And they arrest him for the murder because it looks like he's been tampering with it.
Right. So the crime is that instead of putting a fake lock on the water tank, he puts Christian Bale, I guess, puts the real lock on the tank and locks him in.
And that's what they prosecute him for, and that's why he's in jail. So Hugh Jackman framed Bale for his murder, and then Hugh Jackman is alive. And that's what he did with this trick. So during that night, the night he knew Christian Bale was there for whatever reason, he didn't do the Prestige. The Hugh Jackman clone just left. He never turned up. That's why he got convicted of murder.
Right.
Because the man's still alive.
Yes. Yeah. So like everyone points at Christian Bale like, oh, you just killed that dude. Mm-hmm. And he disappears for a long period of time too.
But so Hugh Jackman's got the leverage on Christian Bale. Christian Bale's still in prison. And then Hugh Jackman, I guess, has adopted Christian Bale's daughter and brings her to prison to see him. You know, Hugh Jackman, he's like fucking rubbing it in Christian Bale's face. And Christian Bale's like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman goes to visit Christian Bale in jail and shows up with Christian Bale's daughter.
Right, because he's adopted her or whatever. And then he realizes it's him and he's like fucking freaking out. And Hugh Jackman's like, I finally got one up on you. But Christian Bale had one last trick up his sleeve because there's Christian Bale A. So B is the one that got locked up.
I have no idea.
I do. B is the one that got locked up because he apologized for the death of Rebecca Hall to Christian Bale A when he shows up dressed up as fucking what's his name?
Fallon. Sorry. Gotcha.
Yeah. Fake Christian Bale dressed up as Fallon shows up and Christian Bale B apologizes for the death of Rebecca Hall, who was the one that he actually loved. And then right there at the last minute, he confesses, doesn't he? Which knot he tied? He's like, I tied the Langford double. I thought she could
I don't remember if he confesses or if he truly doesn't remember. Like if he's like, because if you remember the scene that he does it, he unties the knot and then reties a different one. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he confesses or not. I don't remember.
I can't remember if he remembers. God, I guess you'll have to watch the fucking whole movie. We didn't spoil it.
Sorry.
Did he tie the knot? Didn't he? Who knows? Tune in next week when we talk about a totally different movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, I mean, Christian Bale, he gets hung at the gallows. But while he's getting hung at the gallows, Christian Bale A pays old Hugh Jackman a little visit. gives him a bang bang.
Yeah, he meets up with him. He finds him.
They both spill the beans. He's like, you did this machine. You've done awful things. You fucking murdered and committed suicide. And it's all these just awful fucking atrocities to humanity. And for what? For nothing.
And for Hugh Jackman, he never, like, I feel like that Hugh Jackman never has ever seen The Prestige. So the third act where the audience applauses.
Oh, the original Hugh Jackman never does get
He never attains
he never
the
does get
prestige
he never
of
does
his
get
own
the,
act.
The acolytes he's looking for. Yeah, you're right.
So,
you're right, man.
So he's spilling his guts, and maybe that's why his obsession is so much. He's like, I want to be the one applauded instead of doing the magic and then someone else getting the praise that I created.
Right.
So I think his whole time, so his Tesla machine copies him. He drowns his own self. He commits suicide every night for fucking 100 nights, and his copy gets the accolades from the spotlight.
Yeah, so OG Hugh Jackman never gets it.
He never gets it.
That fucking son of a bitch.
It's a trip.
Yeah, it is a trip. It's a good movie. What'd you think about it as far as thumbs go?
Thumbs?
If you had 10, if all your fingers were peckers with knuckles, and 2 of them were opposable, how many of those pecker finger thumbs? Wait, they're all opposable. They're all opposable.
Opposable, okay. Oh, that would be pretty tight.
10 opposable dick fingers with
that'd
joints.
be interesting.
With joints.
Well,
And then it just feels like arthritis when you're aroused. How many of those type of thumbs would you let splooge all over your face for this movie?
Yeah. So if I watch it one time, I give it 8.5.
No, what's your?
I know. But if I'm watching it over and over, which you kind of have to do on this movie, I give it a 9. I give it a solid 9 because I like smart movies that make you think about how the story played out. Upon rewatching, you understand more and more and more, and then you start to pick at it, like, oh, that's why I did. You know what? That's why I said this. That's why I did this.
I'm gonna go 9 for it also because I remember thinking, I was like, oh yeah, man, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie. I really liked it, but I feel like maybe it's kind of cliche. It's not. No. It's a really fucking good movie. Yeah, I'm also going to go 9 with it.
If there's a magic movie out there that you want to watch,
cinematography's good.
This is it.
Score's
good. There's no
good.
other magic movie I know of that even comes close.
Well, there's Now You See Me.
I've never even seen it.
It's all right. It's not as good as The Prestige. As a movie, as like magic tricks and Hollywood stuff, yeah, it's pretty cool, but it's not a...
This is so well written.
This is a drama.
It is.
This is a drama about obsession. It just happens to be about 2 men, or 3 men, really, that are magicians.
Yeah, it is.
That's it.
Obsession about magic and careers, and then, competitiveness to it.
Yeah, I guess. And just banging Scarlett Johansson.
You know, why not?
Whoever can bang Scarlett Johansson the most, I guess. That's going to bring us to a close for The Prestige. So we're going to go watch another movie that probably has magic in it.
Some magic.
We're going to watch Dungeons and Dragons from 2000. Yep.
2000.
From 2000.
There's definitely magic in that movie.
I'm hoping there's magic in it. It's got a weird cast, and I'm excited. The reviews for it are terrible, and I'm really excited to watch it. So we're going to go do that. Please enjoy a fucking fake thing that I probably made that probably has to do with Skeleton Man. This summer... Skeleton Man 3, Dawn of Dan. Skeleton Dan.
So, what do you been playing any good video games lately, or?
I beat Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, Ghost of Tsushima?
Tsushima.
What did you think of it?
It's originally based on an anime.
Hey, hold on a second. I've just got to grab something real quick.
Yeah, sure.
What the fuck? Is that a Skeleton Dan?
I catch you at a bad time? You call me Skeleton Dan? Shoot it. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang.
Lights out, boys.
Ashes to ashes, motherfucker.
I catch you fellas at a bad time.
Now it's just bones. My God, it's a skeleton dance. I catch you at a bad time. Shoot it. We need more firepower. Hey, bonehead. I catch you at a bad time. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang. So easy. This summer, Skeleton Man 3, Dawn of Dan. Skeleton Dan. Skeleton Dan. Skeleton fan. It's just like it's made out of bones. It doesn't do anything.
It's just blowing bones like.
That's pretty good. Special thanks to Brad Sexton for our jams. Please check out his latest project at suns.bandcamp.com. That is sunds.bandcamp.com. Thanks to Lamplighter Productions for our artwork. Please check out more of their stuff on Instagram at lamplighter_productions_IL. First time listener, we're anywhere podcasts are found, but if you don't subscribe to any of those services, listen to the show for free on our website. It's just the number 2, movies.buzzsprout.com. That's it's just 2movies.buzzsprout.com. Want to get in touch with the show? Email us at itsjust2movies@gmail.com or find us on Twitter or Instagram at itsjust2movies. Want to support the show? Great. Leave a like, comment, or subscribe on whatever platform tickles your fancy. So anyway, back to the show.
Are we on?
Oh, we're on, baby.
Fuck.
We're on like Donkey Kong because we just watched Dungeons and Dragons from the year 2000, which probably shouldn't be considered a Dungeons and Dragons property anything.
Yeah, they could have definitely told that story without Dungeons and Dragons behind it.
They didn't have to involve
Yeah.
one of the greatest tabletop RPGs ever.
No, like they could have literally made that. I don't know what the man. Okay, you're so much better at remembering the stories and stuff. So I'll let you handle that. But yeah, they didn't really need Dungeons and Dragons to be behind this.
I skipped a bunch of it. I mean, I don't think it's presumptuous of me to say if you look this movie up on the internet, if you think it's got a fascinating storyline, you're barking up the wrong tree, baby. It's not very captivating.
I will say, hold on. I will say at the very beginning, I was like, this isn't that bad. And then about halfway through, I was like, this isn't that bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got towards the end, it started getting like they gave up halfway through.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. It was bad the whole time, but it wasn't that bad until like halfway through. And I was like, oh, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it was getting like incrementally worse. So Dungeons and Dragons is a December 2000 fantasy action. Hour 48 runtime, 3.6 out of 10 on IMDb, 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know. Voodoo gives it a 3.8 out of 5, which is way generous.
Who's Voodoo? Are they a new thing?
It's like a streaming service, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's see here. This movie was directed by Courtney Solomon. Boo.
Yeah, her name was all over the end of it. I was like, man.
This film series, Dungeons and Dragons. It's so weird.
It's a series?
Yeah, that's what it says. Budget was $45 million, and box office pulled in $33.8 million.
Hold up. That was 45 and ours earlier was 40?
I don't know where $45 million went in this.
It's like the first time CGI was ever used in this movie.
Yeah.
It's like, we're just going to charge you a lot for this. Because they did use quite a bit. It wasn't great. They did use it.
That they did. So this wasn't very good, as you might expect. Stars Jeremy Irons, Marlon Wayans, Justin Whalen, Thora Birch, Bruce Payne, Zoe McClellan, and Kristen Wilson, to name, I guess, the top build or whatever.
Yeah, Marlon Wayans is in it.
Yeah, Marlon Wayans is in this. You guys remember when this came out? I don't. I didn't even know that this was ever even a thing, and I like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I never remembered this movie ever. I guess grew up. This was like during the time period of me growing up, so yeah. Don't remember this even being billed as an advertisement.
I think I found out about 2 years ago that this movie had ever been made, and I just didn't know it at all. I didn't even know that it even existed.
I mean, the good thing about it was, I don't know. It was, I wrote down, it was Harry Potter meets Scary Movie at the very beginning. Maybe that's, you know.
It's got a real, when Marlon Wayans is in it, it is, it's Harry Potter with Marlon Wayans.
Like, he takes over, like, the screen. Mm-hmm. Like he does his own, like, everything he does is over the top. Which I like it. It makes everything funny that's not really that funny.
Yeah, he's doing a bit. He's just lightening the mood, but he does a really good job.
He's really good at it. Yeah, he's a fucking normal person in this mage's world.
Yeah, so I don't know what the fucking name of the place is, but it's ruled by mages. The first thing I've got is the volume on this sucks, and Jeremy Irons.
Is that the pretty boy?
Jeremy Irons gets an Infinity Stone. No, Jeremy Irons is like the evil guy, the bad guy. Not Blue Lips.
Not Blue Lips?
The guy above Blue Lips.
The guy that was really trying to act.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's also a guy named Blue Lips.
Blue Lips. We will definitely refer to him as Blue Lips.
It's not his name, but if you watch the movie, you'll immediately know who it is.
It's over the top annoying. Like, why are they so fucking blue?
Yeah.
Why are they that blue? Like, you didn't have to do that.
Check the gram. I'm making some homemade memes out of this guy. This is some good postable
like,
content.
One person's lips takes over the movie. It's like, you're questioning, like, why are your lips that blue? And then, like, if they're not that blue, why did you put on that blue lipstick? It's like weird.
It's very metallic, like like beer can blue. Almost.
It's like sweet. It's like he's been sucking on sweet tarts all night. You know that bright blue.
Yeah. It's unusual. It doesn't fit the aesthetic of anything else.
Anything at all.
Nobody else has blue lips or any colored lips in the movie.
There is blue on this chick that has some armor.
Yeah, she's got some really...
She has titty-plated armor, like Batman armor with nipples.
Yeah,
but
her
with
armor's
boobs.
got nipples. It's real strange.
And the only thing she has is a front breastplate and front knee pads.
Yeah, and like her abs.
Everything else is just a red T-shirt and a skirt. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's...
Like, she's half naked.
Yeah, I mean, this is just not good. The sound's really awful in it. That... Right out of the gate, the sound's real bad. And I don't like that.
It was never, it never had, like, I think in like halfway in the middle of it, you realize they stole some themes from Star Wars. It's like, and then
they're doing some real Star Wars shit in there.
Like halfway through, like the main bad guy, not Blue Lips guy, but the main one, the actor.
Oh, Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, he's they're definitely trying to pull Darth Vader every time. Is he in the new Star Wars? I think he is.
Irons?
That guy looks like he's in the newest Star Wars. One of them. Look it up. He's what is he? He's oh man.
Portrayal as Grand Admiral Thrawn, as well as the character's alter ego.
He's Thrawn.
Mithra Naruto. Mithra. All right.
So he's Thrawn.
Mithra Naruto. Okay.
He's Naruto in some capacity.
He first played the character in Star Wars episode The Empire.
I don't see him at...
Jeremy Irons is in Star Wars, you punk bitch.
Damn.
Whatever things that I just said that he was in.
Okay, yeah, Thrawn. He's Thrawn in something. Like Clone Wars or something. Yeah. So yeah, he's acting this whole movie. Like, every time we watch a bad movie, there's always one or two people that are really acting. And it's like, man, you picked the wrong movie to actually try to act.
Mm-hmm.
And it's He's one of them. The other one is the brown-haired chick.
Zoe McClellan.
Yeah, she acts, and you forget that like you're watching a bad movie. Like, oh, she's acting. Oh, what's she talking about?
she was bringing her A game. I'd say it was probably one of the most redeeming features. I tell you what, it's not though, is the CGI and the dragons and the magic.
Yeah, the CGI. Ah, man,
it's real rough, and you were like, yeah, give it a break. It's
give
from
it a
2000,
pass.
and then
you give it a pass. It's like it almost like looks like a video game at some point. It's like I give that kind of a pass. 2099, yeah, kind of maybe.
Yeah,
and then you point out that Lord of the Rings comes out.
The Fellowship came out like the following year. Well, this came out in December, so I'm not sure when the Fellowship dropped.
So that makes it look really bad. That
Oh, yeah, it was a year later because it was a December release also. Gotcha. So it came out the following year, but man, it looks better by a lot.
Yeah, this looks like video game dragons.
Yeah.
But you kind of forgive it because it's so early, but then you're like, when you compare it, it's like it's not that early, I guess. They just got the bad CGI. Like, and back then, bad CGI compared to good CGI is probably worth $40 million of the movie.
Oh, hell yeah. So you got Marlon Wayans and Justin Whalen, and they're thieves, and they know those mages are up to no good, and they're gonna go in and steal a thing. And Jeremy Irons is at a council, and he's like, "I vote we take the scepter from the girl," and. You know what I'm talking about?
I do, but I don't because I'm so lost in my thought process thinking about the movie.
You got it. And that's Thora Birch from fucking Hocus Pocus.
Oh, the little girl. She grows into like a queen in this movie.
Yeah, she's like a.
She's a little bitty kid at the beginning,
princess or something. Yeah, she's not.
And then she has like a headdress on at the end.
Yeah, she's not very old in the movie. It's giving me some real. Never-ending story vibes.
Yeah. I definitely feel that.
Yeah. Marlon Wayans, he's just doing his fucking classic.
He's good at it. He's good at what he does. Yeah, just being in that sense.
Just being a hype clown. Just a.
He made a bad movie kind of interesting for a second. Then they took him out like halfway through, and they threw him back in about 3/4 in, killed him.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird, like, hand-fisted burns that are passed off as jokes in this. And she's like, but you aren't a mage. And he's like, it's because I'm not fucking stupid. And she's like, but who caught you? Because I'm a mage.
Yeah, they tell some bad jokes.
And
now that you say that out loud, I was like, yeah, I watched that too.
Yeah, there's a lot of the writing in it. It's not very good. Well, I mean, as far as the lines go anyway, they're just very... Maybe it's delivery. Maybe that exact script can be better. I don't know, but
yeah, you got to string along a couple good scenes.
Felt pretty forced.
Like I feel like the first half of the movie wasn't terrible. Like it was.
Yeah,
it's like
okay,
watchable.
Now I will say that I had fun. Watching this the whole time. I enjoyed this movie immensely. I thought it was a lot. I thought it was a good time.
It wasn't so terrible that he couldn't.
There's the bit where they're in the bar and you get to see some of the other people that inhabit this world, and like almost none of them are Dungeons and Dragons classes races that you can play.
Yeah, I got a few characters. They got the blue-headed dude, or is it purple? I don't know.
Yeah,
weird-looking guy.
It's the one guy with the third eye. And
third eye. We don't see that until like
there was a Beholder, which is a real Dungeons and Dragons monster. A CGI Beholder is the meatball with all the eyeballs on his tentacles or whatever.
Oh yeah, he kind of looked like Blue Lips when he got mad or something.
Yeah, a little bit. So Blue Lips, he's got a bit where he's got these like,
I'm not sure what's going on, honestly.
Like earworms that have teeth in them, like coming out of his ears.
It's very confusing.
And he like sucks onto other people's ears, and I guess eats some of their brains or their thoughts or something.
I thought he reaches on and latches on to this other to the Zoe girl, and with his ears, but with the worms out of his ears. Man, it's tough to explain this.
No, it's really funny.
And then he latches onto her, and I thought he broke her neck, but that's not what happened at the end. So I'm not sure exactly what happened. They just made a weird sound, and then he let go of her head. Like with the worms.
Yeah, oh yeah. But she was fine after the fact.
Oh, I felt retarded just
Like,
saying that.
She acted like she had a headache or something, and then she was fine.
Pretty bad.
Oh, I can't wait to post pictures of it. This is some gold.
I was trying to explain it like, all right, this actually happened as a, part of a decent movie. And then, worms out of this dude's head just didn't make sense and turned into a really bad movie at that point.
So I'm just going to do the rest of the story real quick.
Please do.
All of it. I'm going to hammer it out as fast as I can. You got Marlon Wayans, Justin Whalen.
You get a dwarf at some point.
I don't even remember who plays the dwarf.
He's redheaded.
Barely in it. There's
Orange,
a dwarf
actually.
there. So you got Justin Whalen, Justin Whalen, Marlon Wayans, and Zoe McClellan.
And who's the breastplated chick? Like they make her out to be someone bigger in the beginning than she's not. I thought she was Jada Pinkett.
I don't have her name. I don't have her name here. Actually, hold on, let me pull it up. That's Kristen Wilson.
I'm sure she's in something else. She looked familiar.
She's 51 now. She's got quite a filmography. Dr. Dolittle, Dr. Dolittle 3, Dr. Dolittle 2, Walking Tall, Twitches, Bulletproof, so some weird stuff. Tales from the Crypt, Ritual.
Oh. That's a bad movie. We need to watch right there.
She's in Tyson, excuse me. Crossover.
Tyson.
Yep. Looks like she was pretty much just she's a sexy lady.
She seems like, she's in a lot of movies. It's like, I've seen her a lot. So I thought she was going to be bigger when we saw her than she was. And she was like, not even a role character. She was like, every time we see her next, she was behind like the dwarf, just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, she plays elf assassin girl.
Elf assassin, for sure.
So you got your main three. You got Marlon, you got old boy, and you got mage girl.
Mage girl, and then you got assassin elf.
Yeah, an assassin
breastplate.
Elf. She's
assassin.
She's not in it that much. She pops in and out. But anyways, what happens is
you
essentially
dwarf dude too.
Essentially, these three collect a dwarf guy and collect the assassin elf girl, and they set out on a journey to get a fucking dragon scepter and go kick a Jeremy Irons' ass, who wants to start a dragon war because he's an asshole.
I think you nailed it.
That's the whole story. I don't think we need to.
I think you nailed that.
We don't have to talk over plot lines anymore. So,
well, they talked about rods.
What else? There's a lot of people being like, "Give me the rod." Give me the rod.
Yeah, they're like talking into magic portals or magic. Like I need the rod, dude.
Yeah,
please. I mean, the rod.
The sets and the costumes are fucking bad. There's a bit where the dwarf is like, "Oh, you need to get yourself a dwarf woman so you can grab her by the beard, and you got something to hold on to," and making like a
I forgot about that scene.
Real weird.
Some of those were funny though. They kind of held it. It was like, all right, this isn't terrible because it's kind of funny with how they're doing that. I don't know.
There's a whole bunch of like, I guess when you have like background actors and they're like, what am I supposed to be doing though? Just grimace.
Just grimace real hard.
Just grimace as hard as you fucking can.
Like the dwarf, he was a side-eyed dwarf.
Oh yeah,
like he never looked at you straight. He was always to the side.
The one eyebrow raised,
and he's looking, from the side of his eyeballs at you the whole time. That was his look. That's how he got the part. He's like, I'm gonna side-eye you.
I guess, yeah. They're like, we'll put a hilariously orange bit on you. I mean, I think it is common that most dwarves have red hair.
Red hair. But he was orange. He was Cheeto orange.
He was like Blaze deer hunting orange.
He was Cheeto orange.
He was Cheeto orange.
I got all over my mustache, beard.
I wonder if they thought they were just beating Peter Jackson to the punch by making this a year. Because it took a long time to shoot the Lord of the Rings movies, yeah. And this looks like they did it maybe 6 months. 6 months.
Maybe 3, maybe.
Pushing it. Yeah, maybe 3.
Yeah, maybe they're like, let's beat him to the punch. We'll have the same CGI, and then Peter Jackson comes out a year later and is like, bro.
Everybody's already on the Dungeons and Dragons train.
But he's like, he comes out with the real stuff.
Right.
So you guys are playing video game movies over here.
That good. Young thief guy, old boy. He has to do a guild maze to secret bald guy with sex lips.
Secret bald, yeah.
He does it. So then horny robe guy fights blue lips.
Yeah, horny robe guy.
There's one bit that I found like extremely like you couldn't have just done that in another take where they've got they're fighting. There's a big battle and somebody throws the scroll to another person and they jump on the ground and the scroll's on the ground. They jump to get it and they grab it. And then the dude's foot comes down on it.
Yeah, he doesn't.
But it's not on it though.
Yeah, he puts his foot down real hard, and everybody looks up, but he doesn't like put his foot on the thing.
And then they take the camera angle that shows you that clearly he's not stepping on it. Like he's just
stepped down really hard.
He stepped next to it.
Like he stomped. Like, look at me.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not gonna hurt your paper.
Yeah, I don't care about your paper. I'm gonna kick you in the fucking teeth.
Just listen.
Unless you give me the paper.
Oh yeah, there was somewhat redeemable parts that made me laugh. That one was for sure one. So like halfway through, they bring Marlon back into the movie, and he has his
then he's got to fight Blue Lips.
Blue Lips. It was a Blue Lips. Yeah, he fought Blue Lips, and Blue Lips
kills the
straight
shit
up
out
kills
of
him. It's like you would think Marlon was smart enough to put a no-kill contract in his clause.
Nope.
Like, movie, I'm a high earner. You can't kill me.
No way. I mean,
they kill him halfway through the movie. Like, well, it's not a scary movie. He's not coming back.
But then he does.
Does he?
Maybe.
Kind of in the dragon eye. In the dragon eye thing, at the very end, they all die, commit suicide at once.
Yeah, and then I guess they suicide pact and they all turn into dragons.
And they go meet Marlon in the dragon world.
Yeah.
As he's screaming. Oh, the pretty boy dude. He got stabbed and died through the heart.
God, he got stabbed.
He screamed.
He got stabbed pretty hard. That little pocket of flesh between your collarbone and your shoulder plate. Imagine getting stabbed there on your left side, like a foot and a half.
A foot and a half
like
deep.
a foot and a half into you. Like,
and he screams.
It's like getting stabbed in the heart, but from up instead of in front of you.
His scream is almost unbelievable, but it's like, all right, if I was in that much pain, I'd scream that high.
Yeah.
But it's like, all right, dude, you screamed way too high for a dude. Like, he went to another level and he screamed. Like, he broke. It wasn't a girl scream. It was like a little person scream. Like, like he got to a kid scream. And it was hilarious. Because then...
I bet it didn't tickle, though. It looked...
No.
I mean, it would have killed,
I would have screamed, too.
It did kill him, so that's the ultimate cop-out.
But he came back. There was magic.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was trying to hear if he actually died, if they're like, he's almost dead. Because if they were like, he's almost dead, I'd be like, nah.
No, because they cut in half.
Split his heart in half. You know what I mean?
Just fucking. It didn't hide that at all.
No. So if he was like totally dead, ultimate cop out in a movie, just bring him back to life.
We'll just heal him with this mage magic no one understands. Everyone will believe it. It's,
Yeah, it's a big cop out in the story.
Yeah, it's an ex machina.
It is a deus ex machina. Dude almost dies fighting Jeremy Irons. Oh, girl comes to the rescue. More political, more boring political correctness.
Rabble.
A lot of rabble.
We had a lot of rabble. There's like 4 or 5 scenes of rabble.
Yeah.
Like the Senate, Jeremy Irons, Thrawn, rabbling people.
They were rabbling so good.
They rabbled really hard. Even like when they got their numbers cut in half, or like half of them left.
Yeah.
The other half just rabbled really, really hard. Like they rabbled.
That's funny.
I gotta pick up the slack.
That's pretty much it, man. And what's his name? Justin Whalen. He controls dragons with a scepter for a bit.
Yeah, the scepter at the very end. I didn't know. Like,
doesn't matter. It's over. It's a fucking stupid movie. What'd you think of it as a regular movie?
So this one's kind of weird for me because as a regular movie, it's pretty regular, but it's bad. I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
3.5.
3.5.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go 3 because I really hated looking at it. The CGI can be bad if the you can pick any 2, and I can give you a little leeway with it.
Yeah.
I need cinematography, wardrobe, sets, or CGI. I need one of them.
One of them, and they.
I need 2. Any 2.
Maybe
any 2. If you can pick out any 2, Man, for the most part, I can kind of let it go. But this one,
They didn't pick up like the CGI stuff that didn't need to be CGI. Like
no.
there was a blood spill.
Well, but the wardrobe was also bad, and most of the sets were bad. And
but they could have like made up for their CGI. Like that was the real bad CGI. Just by doing regular acting or whatever. It's like you could figure a way out. You don't need to like CGI
I feel like there was
that.
a lot of really unnecessary green screening in this.
Yeah.
Like, just didn't have to be.
Yeah.
It was behind a very plain backdrop. You could have just had somebody paint one and call it a day.
Yeah, it would have looked pretty good, but CGI, like they got roped into it. This is 2000 CGI. Let's pay for it. We'll get it.
Yeah, we'll
That's
shoot it.
$40 million of the movie. I'm pretty sure.
We'll shoot it in the It's Just Two movie studio instead of shooting it on location or behind an actual backdrop.
And then Danny will pick out. You got to wear some really blue lipstick.
Yep.
You got to be acting over the top. Really give me your all.
Yep.
And you're just gonna wear a breastplate and some knee pads, and you're gonna be good. You're gonna be
tits with nip. Just all
Marlon. You're gonna come in. You're gonna
nips.
you're gonna be you for half the movie. Then we're gonna get tired of you, and you're out. And then there's gonna be another elf girl. I mean,
so what'd you think of this as a bad movie?
As a bad movie. It wasn't bad enough to be a really bad,
deliberately.
Deliberately, right?
It wasn't good. Look at the reviews on it were terrible.
It's a bad movie, but they didn't lose me until the very end. Even towards the very end, I could follow the storyline. You're really good at following the storylines.
I'm writing it down.
But I'm terrible at it every time we do this. This one I followed
that's okay.
3/4 of the way through. So for me, like there's something there. It kept me like connected to the actual plot, so I'm gonna give it 4.5.
Nice. Okay. All right. 4.5 is a bad. I actually had quite a bit of fun watching this. It's a tad long.
It is a little long.
I mean, most bad things are. I've never seen a 85-minute bad movie.
Those movies, at least you have fun with some of those that are bad.
So man, I guess I'm gonna give it. I guess I'm going to give it a 6.5.
As a bad one?
Yeah, as a bad movie.
As a bad one, yeah.
I give it a 3 as a regular and a 6.5 as a bad movie.
What did I give? 3.5, 4.5? Oh, my numbers may be off, but I think it wasn't so bad that I wanted to laugh and like have fun with it. Like it kind of kept me involved as a kind of try to be a good movie.
I was interested in what was going to happen. Like
a real bad movie, I just want to be able to laugh at it. Like this is so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
This one I was like, it's pretty stupid, but I'm halfway through it still, and I'm not kicking myself. So it's a bad movie, but it's got a plot that you can almost follow.
I honestly didn't think they'd kill Marlon Wayans, but they kind of did bring him back. So
they should have killed him.
What would you do to this to make money?
Definitely cut back on the CGI. With a lot of the stuff that they did, they could have easily done with just normal procedures at that point and not lost anything at all.
Yeah, I'm of the same opinion. The stuff that doesn't have to be CGI, don't make it CGI.
Yeah, there's no point in doing some of that. It's like you'd have looked way better anyway. It looked like a video game in some of the parts. Like you didn't need to make it look like that. Yeah,
there's
some good casting.
I want to say I'd like to get a different director, but honestly, I don't know how much of that's studio and how much of that is directorial because the story was salient. It wasn't great, but it made sense. And it was put down okay. There were some weird choices in there that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But I don't know who's in charge of that.
They didn't necessarily need to use the Dungeons and Dragons thing, but that probably made them more money using that than anything.
Yeah, well, because they made a movie to get all the nerds in to watch.
And then they just put some dragons in there. They put a quest in there.
They didn't look at the source material. No. They just did whatever they wanted.
What are the highlights of this world?
Yeah.
Dragons, okay.
Like, the Meatball Man, what's he called? Oh, he's a beholder. Yeah. Okay, we'll call it something else, but we'll put it in there.
They would throw a couple things in there. I was like, whoa, okay, you're kind of trying to attach it, but...
Yeah, so and evidently there's another one of these from the 80s.
Yeah, ooh.
So I'd be curious to watch that at some point.
Next round.
I bet that's even worse.
It's a lot worse.
Yeah.
As a bad movie, it might be up there above my 4.5.
I don't know.
As a bad one.
Because if it says it's good, I'll just watch it by myself. And if it's real good, I'll force somebody else to watch it. I guess I would get a director. Whoever's in charge of like just the fucking way shit looks, like the scenes and the costumes.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You're fired. I don't care who you get. Not
anyone.
I do care who you get.
That.
Don't bring me the people from Battlefield Earth. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Let's get something a little more eloquent.
There was some good I can't even like dog the bad actors because they weren't that bad.
They really weren't. I mean, they even got Jeremy Irons for this.
Yeah, I mean, the cast. Marlon Wayans didn't need to be in the movie, but he did bring some levity to it.
Yeah, I mean, and still like we were saying, like Zoe McClellan, she puts out a great performance.
Yeah, like there was some real trying in this movie.
Yeah. Some people showed up to work, and the majority of them phoned it in.
Yeah, Side-Eye Dwarf.
To the tune of $45 million. That's crazy.
He got paid. Side-Eye Dwarf was like, I'm just going to side-eye everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Carry this axe.
Get some chicken in my beard.
And get a couple mil.
Yeah.
Couple mil.
Have a nice turkey leg.
Oh, he was turkey legging it up. Like, he hit himself in the face a couple times. He passed out on turkey legs.
He's fucking loving it.
Like, he passed out, woke up.
Yep.
Yeah, I got turkey leg.
Like turkey leg meat drunk.
Yeah, he was meat drunk.
Or regular drunk.
He's like, I want some more meat.
Give me the rod.
Yeah, there was a lot of that, man. Even towards the end, they were handing the rod off.
Yeah.
Like they were passing around.
They were.
Did we play a game this round?
No, I kind of quit doing the trivia.
Oh.
Do you want to?
We can.
You want to?
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to do some trivia?
Let's do some trivia. What you
Holy
got?
Shit. Hold on.
What you got? What kind of trivia you got?
Sound effects are going to be different.
I don't mind.
How did John Travolta get his super intelligence in Phenomenon?
Is this a question for me?
Yes, it is.
Oh, shit.
So,
I've never seen Phenomenon.
you've never seen Phenomenon?
I haven't.
Okay. So here's what's going to happen.
All right.
Once I touch the screen here,
You want me to touch it?
it's going to give me 4 options.
Okay.
And oh shit, here we go. Mad scientist experiment, brain tumor, elixir of sweat hog, or alien abduction.
I'm going to go with alien abduction.
So sorry.
Damn.
The correct answer was brain tumor.
So fucking like normal.
Are you ready for your
No
next
fantasy?
question? You ready?
I'm ready.
What commercial transport line takes travelers from Earth to the moon in 2001?
Do I get questions or
Yeah.
multiple?
When you want me to press it, I will.
Go ahead and press it.
Okay, because it's on a timer as soon as I press it.
Okay.
Pan Am, Qantas, Greyhound, or Aeroflot?
Pan Am.
Correct!
Oh, snap. I was going to go with one of the other ones, but that one was like, that's kind of normal.
Good job, Jackson. Next question.
All right. What we got?
The most expensive movie made in the 20th century was
Avatar.
Return of the Jedi.
Oh, shit. No,
Titanic.
no,
Gone
Titanic.
with the Wind. Gangs of New York.
My bad. Titanic.
Correct.
You said, the wrong century.
Did I?
Maybe not.
I just read it.
No, you said 20th century? Yeah, you're right.
Allie's new roommate is about to borrow a few things.
Allie.
Allie's new roommate is about to borrow a few things.
All
This
right,
is a quote.
I have no idea. Oh, okay,
It's a
quote.
quote. Here we go. You ready?
I like quotes.
Gremlins 2. What women want? Single white female. Freaky Friday.
Go with Freaky Friday.
So sorry.
Gremlins?
Single white
Damn it.
female.
I thought Gremlins. I was like, go Gremlins.
Okay.
I've never seen single white female, so. He was the creepy serial killer who became one of his own quote unquote 7.
Oh shit. It's fucking, what's his fucking name? Yeah, go ahead. Give me the options.
All right. Options are we have Ralph Fiennes, Brad Pitt, Kevin Spacey,
Spacey.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Kevin Spacey.
Woo, the crowd goes wild.
Yes.
That's a good movie. You ever watched 7? Have you
Yeah,
done 7 on here yet?
Of course I watched
I don't
it.
think we've done
Haven't
7.
done it on here.
That's a good one. Yeah. All right. Here we go. He played the sniper who talked to Colin Farrell into a puddle of paranoia in Phone Booth.
Oh, shit.
Have you seen that one? When's the last time you saw that movie?
Shortly after it came out. Hit me, I guess.
All right, here we go. We have Michael Madsen. We have Forrest Whitaker, Dennis Leary, or Kiefer Sutherland.
Fuck. It's either Kiefer. I think it's Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer
Sutherland.
You nailed it.
Yeah,
because he's on that movie. He's talking the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's pretty good
I don't know. Like, there's something about movies that are confined to a small space.
It's one note.
Like, you ever seen Devil, where they're in the...
I never have, actually.
Where they're in the elevator.
Yeah, no, I never have, actually.
Movies that are, like, confined to a spot, and everyone has to play their own little part in this one spot. Oh, shit. I find that fascinating. All right, here we go. Tom Hanks, castaway, Buddy Wilson, is really a...
Spalding.
Ring-tailed lemur, hallucination, Wilson soccer ball, photo of an unknown child.
Wilson soccer ball?
I mean, you got some easy ones, dude.
I thought it was a volleyball.
I thought it was too. I'm pretty sure it's a volleyball.
Maybe
sure we're wrong.
We could be wrong.
Need to look that up here in a second.
The old Mandela effect or whatever. Except we don't.
It is a Mandela effect. I'm pretty sure it's a volleyball. It's not a soccer ball. Soccer ball has little octagon squares.
Yeah. How'd we do?
We get a bonus.
Oh shit!
Bonus time. All right, Danny. You want to go?
Are you sure, man? I'll go. Go ahead.
Bonus round for Danny. I was born in Waco, Texas, studied philosophy at UCLA, and appeared in Bringing Down the House. Who am I?
Oh, fuck. Bringing Down the House. Does it give me options?
I can give you some options.
Give me some options.
All right, here we go. I'm Betty White. I'm Queen Latifah. I'm Steve Martin. I'm Eugene Levy.
Is it Eugene Levy?
No.
Who is it?
It is Steve Martin.
Nice.
I have no idea. Never seen it, so I'm not sure.
I don't know. I've never seen it either. I do like Steve Martin. I just didn't know he was in it.
All right, we got one more? Two more? All right, let's go.
We got two more?
Oh, no, game over. We lost. I think. I don't know.
What else would you do to this to make it?
What else would I do in this movie? I mean, the plot wasn't terrible, but obviously I think we mentioned sticking maybe a little more to the source. Like, if you're going to use Dungeons & Dragons, use Dungeons & Dragon type of material.
You can't make Dungeons & Dragons one movie.
Agree.
You can't make Dungeons & Dragons one movie.
But you could have a starting off point.
I do 2 Dungeons & Dragons campaigns, and one that I do is well over 100 hours. You can't make that one movie. You could make it a trilogy, and you could make the first movie good enough to where I would want to go see the second and third.
Right. So it's like you could make a Lord of the Rings trilogy off of a campaign of Dungeons & Dragons.
Right. The reason this isn't compelling is because you're throwing too much new shit at me at once and then making it all have an adventure. And it seems like...
It seems like you're on a quest the whole time. Like, you know, like it's like obviously a video game scenario quest.
Yeah,
like,
but who's on a quest? I don't give a shit about any of the characters.
I have no idea who was on the quest.
Exactly. You know
who
why
was on the quest?
You know why you don't?
It was Pretty Boy Kid.
They threw so much shit at you at one time.
Was it Pretty Boy?
Well, like the whole world's new, and there's dragons, and there's this guy, and there's this guy, and this is his right-hand man, and he's got blue lips, and you know, this guy, he loves tulips.
And there's dragons sometimes?
Yeah, there's dragons sometimes, but sometimes there's not.
At the very end, it's Dragon Scepter calling all dragons Civil War type of scenario.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened there.
You look at a thing like The Prestige, or you look at a thing like The Lord of the Rings, and you think, why do I care about the characters?
Right.
Well, if you think about one of the movies, it's a lot based around like the human element.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's an attachment to...
It's not all dragons and this thing happened. So then this thing happened. So then this thing happened. By the way, these are the people this is about. And then this thing happened. And then these people go to this place.
Yeah, there's too much storytelling in this movie.
It's more about, sit down, let me tell you about XYZ. and then this is what happens to them.
Yeah, a lot of times I caught myself looking at a scenario where I'm like, they just threw this person into this scenario, made him make a decision. Like, they threw like this guy in front of, there's a few things they throw him in front of. I thought it was a girl in front of a crowd and just like make a decision.
Yeah.
One of the things I would change would definitely be is how they presented the story. Because there was a story there, it just wasn't told. Like, they just made it a bunch of individual quests, kind of like staggered.
You have to develop the characters, and developing the characters in the middle of it, it's just not very compelling. Like, I already don't care by the way we're halfway through it.
They started at the beginning to build individual characters, and then they just were like, all right, we got to jump into the movie. Yeah.
Well, I think the problem is that the characters don't have an arc. They just have a description, and it's halfway through the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly it. They have a description of what they are and what they're going to do.
Yeah. It wasn't great though. No. So I think we covered that. Definitely get a new director. Like I said, sets and wardrobe got to go. Some of the wardrobe wasn't bad, but most of it not very good.
Yeah. Wardrobe not terrible. I wouldn't say it's terrible. Wasn't great. Kind of funny.
It had more low points than it did high points. Yeah, definitely. Sure.
Like, kind of funny. Like, they went with some directions, maybe just to stand out a little more.
It can be kind of dumb if it looks real good, but it doesn't do that either.
No, it never looked real good.
Nah.
No.
So fucking I guess we'll change those couple of things and it'd probably be a better movie. I thought most of the casting was okay. The dwarf guy, I mean, if you were like, hey man, turn it down a little bit, and he had a cooler outfit.
If he wasn't orange
and so outrageous.
He had an orange and obvious battle axe. I mean, he was a dwarf.
Just rolling in roasted chicken.
Roasted chicken. First thing we see is he got raped by a roasted chicken the night before, and he's waking up and he's like, what in the hell happened to me? He's got roasted chicken all over his face.
Yeah, Yeah, he's like, oh, what did I do last night? How many birds did I consume? It's fucking so strange, man. I guess that's it for this fucking weird thing. What have you get into anything else recently that you think is a good recommend to the folks out there?
So I haven't seen a whole lot since we last talked. There's one anime show I like that I don't know if we've talked about before, but it's Vinland Saga. It's a good I think it's pretty good. It's
saying violent?
Vineland.
Vineland?
Vineland.
Okay, Vinland Saga. Okay. Yeah.
And it's a Viking anime.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, and they do it well. It's a lot of I don't know how to explain it. I haven't watched it in maybe a couple of years, but it's a good show. I like it, and you should check it out. And everybody else should check it out too. So I can't remember if it's dubbed or if it's completely subbed. I get some people don't like watching completely subbed things. I don't mind it. I'll read it. It's just like watching a live action, comic book.
Yeah, man.
But if you have to watch a lot of it, it's kind of annoying.
I watched, not that long ago, Primal on HBO Max by, God, I'm going to butcher this guy's name. Gendy Tartakovsky.
Yeah, you didn't get that at all. I have no idea.
No, it's he made like Dexter's Laboratory. Okay. Do you remember Dexter's Lab from when you were a kid? Well, he has a short series on HBO that's animated about a caveman and a T-Rex that team up together, they have an owner and pet relationship.
Nice. Is the caveman the pet?
Oh, it's fucking brutal, man. No, not Throg or whatever his name is. He's a bad motherfucker, but it's all silent.
Oh, it's
there's soundtrack to it. There's just no
no words.
There's no words.
No language.
Nope.
Interesting,
dude. It is brutal.
Huh.
It's real good stuff. I would recommend that to anybody. I think that's a good, fun stuff.
It's a good one.
Even if you're not necessarily into cartoons, but if you're at all interested in film and storytelling and stuff like that, it's a neat thing to watch for what it is. Even if you just pick a random episode and watch it, they're all pretty entertaining. The way that the way that they're storyboarded is really fun.
Interesting.
So it's cool.
Have you watched any new movies lately? There hasn't been a whole lot out.
I watched something. Oh yeah, I watched Godzilla vs Kong.
Yeah,
I think I'm just gonna put a review on Instagram for it.
I haven't seen
because
it.
I don't think we're ever gonna do it on the show. The reason being,
I think it's really easy to hate on Godzilla and Kong movies.
I guess I could do it here just as easily. So there's when it comes to Godzilla versus King Kong movies, I think there's 3 different types of people that you're pretty close to one of these camps.
Okay.
Number 1, you watched all the old Godzilla movies. You like the Godzilla and King Kong lore. You like kaiju films. That's just your thing.
Right.
And you've already seen Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of Monsters, and you've awaited this and have already watched it. So that's camp 1. Camp 2 is, yeah, you think Godzilla's kind of cool. You haven't really seen any of the old stuff, maybe a couple like still shots or whatever, just browsing the internet.
Right.
But you'll think it's fun because there's a lot of fighting and it's a lot of monsters fighting, which is fucking cool.
That's pretty fun.
And then there's camp 3. You don't give a shit about King Kong or Godzilla. You're either not going to like it or you're going to think it was fine.
What if you like King Kong side of things?
You'll think it was fine. Have you? That depends. Have you watched the old black and white King Kong films?
I've seen parts of it. I can't say I've watched.
Okay,
a
so you're
full
probably
movie.
in camp 2. You'll either like it or you'll think it was fine.
Okay. I've seen like the Jack Black King Kong. Which one's that? Kong?
Oh yeah.
Kong? What is it? King
That one
Kong?
might just have been called Kong.
But like
that might have been a Peter Jackson film.
There's a really good fight scene in it with King Kong and a T-Rex.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Man, it was really good.
It was really good.
I don't know why I'm thinking of that right
it's
now.
Like the
but
only thing I remember from that
it's
movie.
Really good. I think that's a pretty memorable movie. I think it's King Kong, just King Kong.
Let's see here. Yeah, it's called King Kong.
Because it was the first time I saw Jack Black try to be serious.
Yeah, and it is a Peter Jackson film.
Is it?
Nice job, Danny.
Nice.
Also has Andy Serkis in it. There you go. There's another
Tying
connection.
it all together.
Tying it all together.
Somehow,
In some way. Andy Serkis is in lots of movies. It's not that.
I mean, we're gonna make it happen. 6 degrees of Andy Serkis.
That's what I thought about Godzilla. I'm in camp number 1. I thought it was fucking awesome. But I also really liked Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of Monsters. I liked them all.
Yeah.
Were they amazing? No, there's not any amazing Godzilla movies out there, though. They're amazing in their own way.
I think there's a way to look at it where you're like, there's a certain disbelief that you have to throw out on some movies, and I think Godzilla for sure is one of those, like, if
they go Hollow Earth in it, man.
Yeah, they're like, just don't believe it. Just have fun with it.
Yeah.
Like, when no one's believing that there's a fucking lizard coming down the ocean, dude.
Yeah, right.
So just go with it and have fun with it. And I think if you can have fun with a lot of those movies, just...
It was fun.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot, and it kind of turned out how I thought. All right, it turned out how I wanted it to turn out, and how I said it'd be cool if it turned out like this. But then I thought it was going to be something else when I went into the movie. I was like, it's going to end like this because that's how fucking Hollywood is.
And then it raised your hopes at the end?
No, it turned out just the way I wanted it to.
Nice.
There's a lot of really cool hat tips to some of the old source material in it. There's just cool inclusions from the other movies. So Godzilla versus King Kong, it doesn't really, on its own, as its own movie, it's probably kind of strange.
I mean,
if you haven't seen the previous 3, I don't think so. I think Godzilla stood alone. Kong Skull Island stood alone. King of Monsters is better if you've seen the original Godzilla.
Yeah.
But I think it's okay on its own. Godzilla versus Kong, it's fine on its own, but it leans really hard on you having seen the other 3 movies, so it can give you so much giant monsters fighting.
A lot of fan service that relates to, what people have already seen.
Yeah, I would say so. I think it's more of a, like, leaning into a reward for having you have watched the other movies. It's still fine on its own, but it does kind of lean on, there's not a lot of character development because it wants you to already know some of the characters.
And that's probably their, target audience. No one that just wants to go watch monsters fight doesn't know, like, King Kong or Godzilla. Like, they're probably playing really hard into who's going to go watch this type of person that's probably seen a lot of these things already.
Who do you think wins?
Who do I think and who do I want are two different things. I think.
What do you think and who do you want?
I like Kong for whatever reason because I don't relate to Godzilla much, but Godzilla probably wins. So
Godzilla's he's a formidable foe. He's a big lizard, and he'll shoot hot stuff down your throat.
Does his tongue come out?
You guys aren't gonna start sucking each other's dicks, are you?
Let's call that gold talk for a one-eyed Batman.
Can I make a suggestion that doesn't involve violence? Or is this the wrong crowd?
Maybe we should call in a bomb threat to Houston. I think it's free beer night at the Astrodome.
The Jedi, Bob. We don't fight with guns, we fight with our mind.
Cousin businesses are booming.
That is one big pile of shit.
Jog on.
It's Just Two Movies is a production of Blue Cheese and Bacon Studios and can be found wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
All right. Yeah, no,
I just sent you the link. You're going to be able to find it on your phone through that link.
Whenever I find my phone. Wait, I had found my phone. There it is. It's right
your
there.
phone's right.
Been a long day.